Welcome to Nerdy Psychology, where your mind's not as messy as it seems. We break it down with a little curiosity and make sense of your thoughts and your themes. So be curious, stay kind, keep your mind nerdy.
Have you ever noticed you feel guilty for resting even when you're exhausted? Or you over-explain yourself for things that don't actually require an explanation? You say yes when part of you wants to say no. Or this one. You do something right and it still feels like it's not enough. Most people think these are just personality traits. That's just how I am, or I've always been this way. But what if I told you a lot of these patterns aren't your personality? They're scripts. And you didn't consciously choose them. You learn them. Hi nerds, if we haven't met yet, I'm Dr. Angel, a mental health professional and the creator of Nerdy Psychology, where we break down patterns behind how we think, feel, and relate in real, grounded, and human ways. And today we're talking about something that quietly shapes your life in the background. And those are invisible scripts. The rules you're following without even realizing they exist. Invisible scripts are the internal rules you learned about early in life. Who you're allowed to be, how you're supposed to act, what makes you good or what makes you acceptable or safe. And they sound like this: don't be too much, or keep the peace, or don't mess up, or be strong, or don't need anything. And here's the tricky part. No one sat you down and said, here are your lifelong rules. You absorb them. You absorb them from your family, from school, from peers, from teachers, from relationships, from culture, from your religion. And over time, they just became, this is who I am. Okay, let's make this real. I once worked with someone who couldn't make a simple decision without explaining it in every detail. I can't meet a 3 because I have this thing and then traffic and I didn't sleep well. And on the surface, it kind of looked like over-explaining. But when we slowed it down, we found out that she grew up in an environment where her decisions were constantly questioned. She had to justify herself to be taken seriously. So she learned, if I don't explain myself, I won't be understood or accepted. And that's not personality. That's a script. You know that person who never asks for help. That person who handles everything. They keep it together no matter what. And everyone says, they're so strong. But behind that often is a script that says needing help isn't safe and vulnerability has consequences. So strength becomes survival. Okay, let's talk about this one because it is everywhere. You say yes when you want to say no, and you worry about how your tone sounds. You replay the conversations over and over and over in your head. And it gets labeled as, you're just nice. But a lot of people and women were taught early on, be agreeable. Don't be difficult. Keep others comfortable. So that script becomes, my needs come after everyone else's. And the problem? That works until it doesn't. Until you're feeling burnt out or resentful or just disconnected from yourself. Okay, think of this. You achieve something, a degree or a promotion or an important milestone for yourself. And instead of feeling proud, your brain immediately goes to, okay, what's next? And that often comes from a script like, my worth is tied to performance. I have to earn approval. So even success feels unfinished. Your brain is designed to keep you safe. And as a kid, safe didn't mean thriving. It meant being accepted, avoiding conflict, and staying connected to your caregivers. So your brain figured out, if I act this way, I'm okay. And it locked that in. The problem is those rules, they don't update in adulthood. So you're still following this playbook that was written for a completely different version of your life. So here's the shift. Instead of saying, this is just how I am, start asking, where did I learn this? Because when you can trace back a pattern, you can start to question it and get curious of it. And when you question it, you create space to change it. So here's your pattern interrupt for this week. Catch yourself in one of these moments when you're over explaining yourself or saying yes when you need to say no or you want to say no, or you're pushing yourself past your limits, or feeling like what you've done just isn't enough. And I want you to pause and then ask, what rule am I following right now? Who taught me this rule? And does this rule still serve me? Not, is this wrong or right? Just, is this mine to keep? Because here's the truth. You're not broken. You're patterned. And patterns can be understood. And patterns can be questioned. And patterns can be changed. If this episode resonated with you, I'd love to hear from you. What is one rule you think you've been living by? Drop it in the comments. This is a judgment-free zone. And if you haven't joined our nerdy community, please hit the like and subscribe so you do not miss another episode. Until next week, be curious, stay kind, and keep your mind nerdy. That's a wrap. See you next week.
So be curious, stay kind.